Of course, we've got time for a brilliant one-liner from James McGovern.
Seeing none, this closes the hearing portion.
Mr. Chairman, so no more witnesses? I was hoping Marjorie Taylor Greene would come and talk about her space lasers amendment. Anyway, but she's not here, so I will.
Without objection, the committee stands in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
Member DeLauro, trying every way in the world to save you from this, Chairman Cole.
Hey, man, it's in your bill, man.
And it may be because it was a Republican demand in order to be able to get.
I'm sorry. Can we have order?
It may have been, I wasn't a party to it, but it may have been a Republican demand in order to get funding for Ukraine. That's what may have simply been a totally political issue in order to get to people who do not see the value, the U.S.'s value in providing aid to Ukraine. So you all ought to think about that and whether or not. It is not really, I just say that for me personally, it was the Senate package came forward with the way it was without this, but this is what the Republican majority wanted to do. So please talk to your colleagues about that. Do not talk to the Democrats about it.
I don't want to.
Right, of course. As I said in my opening statement, all of these are Republican-led bills. I didn't even want to do a sidecar. We didn't have to. I just wanted to do the Senate bill.
Take responsibility.
Yeah, if I can add, the loan program, though, the EU has the same program with Ukraine, this loan program. And so we thought that it made sense. And I think the former president agreed that, make this a loan, not just a giveaway.
Ranking Member DeLauro, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'd like you to sum up your opinion on the loan aspect of the money that goes to Ukraine. Do you believe it's a gimmick?
Look, as I said, I was very, very supportive of, I'm not supportive of using loans for emergency needs. That hasn't been the way in which we have moved in the past, okay? So it was the House Republicans' cost. You ready for that? The House Republicans' cost for getting the funds. It is a bad precedent, but that was the only way in which we could move on funds for Ukraine. And you want to talk about trying to get something done? We're here to try to get something done, not to put roadblocks, barriers to wherever you want to go on getting aid to Ukraine. That is what our job is to do. Forgivable loan, bad precedent, and which I'm opposed to, did not come out of the Senate bill, but that's how we needed to. That was the Republicans' price. So please, talk to your colleagues about it. Don't talk to the Democrats about it.
It sounds like you support the bill, though, so somehow you got...
I support the bill because we need to get aid to Ukraine, and you know what? It's about, someone mentioned up here, what we do in this body. And I've negotiated along with Chairman Cole appropriations bills over the years. Does everybody get what they want? No. Do we really compromise on issues for the greater good to try to move forward? Yes. That is what is called governing. That's why we all come here. That is, we come here to be able to govern and to get things done. In this respect, getting aid to Ukraine is imperative.
All right, let me move on and ask about Gaza. How much money is in here for Gaza, Ranking Member Meeks?
Well, it's $9 billion for humanitarian aid, not all of which is going to Gaza, but it's for humanitarian aid throughout the world, as it was in the Senate bill.
How much, Ranking Member DeLauro, how much of that will go to Gaza?
That is really, there isn't a specific number. As you probably know or maybe don't know, they never do earmark the funds that go to humanitarian assistance because something can come up in which there needs to be the flexibility in order to be able to provide humanitarian aid. As I said in my remarks, you are looking at Sudan, you're looking at Haiti, you're looking at Somalia. People have talked about I mean, the countries that are in the greatest need, including Gaza. So there is not a specific dollar amount.
Okay, look, I want to ask about the top line. How do we get the top line numbers for the military aid? Where did those come from? Anybody want to answer that? I'll ask Ranking Member DeLauro.
The numbers, quite honestly, mirror what came out of the Senate. And so that this package, and that's what the Speaker has talked about, and this is what the agreement was, and it was back and forth in which they came forward with what essentially was the Senate package.
So these top line numbers are pretty much what the Senate top line numbers are.
It's what came out of it first came forward with what the president had proposed earlier on, and then there was the deliberation about it in the Senate. The Senate came forward, and that the numbers that are been proposed here are essentially the numbers that had been asked for earlier on in this process, going back, I think, several months.
The Speaker told me that the reason the numbers are both the same is they both came from the Pentagon. And
look, I have to imagine, the numbers didn't come out of the air. When you do you're looking at what the estimates are, what's needed, what the costs. And by the way, I think it was mentioned, but we can look at what the it's probably coming from the administration and from the Pentagon. But there's money in here that deals with the replenishment, which is estimated. I think there's an estimate of overall of about $50 billion. That is for the U.S. Industrial base. And, we are providing the weapons, and then we need to make sure that we deal with national security, domestic national security, and that money is replenished. That's in here. That comes from the administration and from the Pentagon.
The gentleman yields.
I'll yield to Mr. Neguse.
I'm going to interject here. We do have a lot to get through today, so I'm going to ask people to be respectful of each other.
Sentence about border security. I sat in the White House, not in a classified meeting, where Republican colleagues said that we won't have Ukraine without bipartisan border security. And then you know what? We accomplished bipartisan border security. It wasn't, and it was, you can shake your head all you want, but Democrats and Republicans voted for border security. And you know what? It was Donald Trump who said, don't give Biden a win. You think about that. Put that aside. This moment is now. The United States Senate, you can have all the views you want about the United States Senate, but hold them for this debate. It is now. It is about the United States House of Representatives. We have the opportunity to do what we do here, and that is to govern. And what are we doing in governing? Is that to be a world leader. And for months and months, we have been diddling around where people are dying in Ukraine. Don't talk about what weapons we want to give them. We're not giving them what they need now, and it has been months in the coming. And we ought to today, immediately, we should have picked up that Senate bill, brought it to the floor, and voted on it immediately, and we would be out of here today in doing it. Let us not rewrite what is happening. The moment is ours, and if the House of Representatives abdicates its responsibility, yes, the history will write the story, and that it is on us. When we had that moment, we said no. I, for one, will not say no. I will